Wouldn't it be great if your business aligned with your strengths, creating the synergy that allowed you to create maximum profits while reducing stress? How much more powerful, creative, and effective would you be? Where would that take you and your business? Truthfully, it's not that hard once you get clear on a very few key points. Well, there is a secret that I've discovered that allows you to do just that. It's called story leverage, and it's like a GPS for your business, giving you instant clarity on where you are right now and exactly what you need to do to create the kind of leverage that allows your business to grow, scale, and make more revenue faster and with more safety than ever before. It's a strategy used by Fortune 500 companies to bank ridiculous profits, supercharge their customer base, and build brands that are household names. In fact, this is the 1% that controls the other 99% of all your business transactions. Hi, my name is David Bullock, and chances are you don't know me, but that's not a surprise. I've never sought the limelight. Instead, I've been busy working behind the scenes for companies like American Express, Kawasaki Robotics, LendingTree, just to name a few, and for smaller businesses like ones online, GetYourGiftHere.com, for instance, directly with the business owners and the consulting groups. The implementation of my strategies and advice have helped create over $300 million in new sales for these companies. So why am I bringing this information to you now? That's a good question. Truth be told, I got tired of working within the confines of the corporate structure, including all of the bureaucratic corporate policies, the can't-dos, and the endless meetings about meetings. I'm telling you all this because I found that it was much more rewarding working with startups and smaller businesses. I found I loved the energy, the enthusiasm, and the momentum, and the willingness to think outside the box and then actually do something. Now, don't get me wrong. To create $10 million in new business for a $100 million company is great. It really is. But working with a smaller $1 million company and helping them create $300,000 in new business is so much more rewarding. Anyway, that's enough about me. Let me show you the overview of the secret that I was referring to earlier and how it can change your business future. There are only 4 stories that make up any business transaction. They are the global story, the market story, the customer story, and most importantly, your story. Now, before we go on, let me explain first where this came from. I was introduced to the idea of business narratives way back in 2002. In 2004, I came upon the idea that if I understood screenwriting, I could understand business narratives even better. Then in 2005, I happened across a wonderful book called The 20 Master Plots by Ronald Tobias. This book revealed that there are 20 master story plots, and more importantly, people, especially in business, play roles that are very predictable. I realized that my discovery could also be applied to marketing, copywriting, ad design, and landing page design, as well as sales. In fact, this line of thinking is what I use when creating landing pages that increase my customers' conversion rates by upwards to 200%. Since we're talking about the master plots, let's go over them now very quickly. You might want to get out a pen and paper at this point because this is going to be the crux of how this all works. First of all, this is called a plot map, and you probably remember this from grade school when you were writing stories, short stories. And it starts with something called the exposition, where everything starts, an explanation of the roles and responsibilities of the characters. There's going to be some type of conflict, something is going to happen. Then the rising action, meaning while they're trying to figure out between the conflict and the point of crisis, there's going to be a lot of movement, a lot of activity. So they're going to come up this hill here called the rising action. That's when things are getting done. That's when copy is being written. That's when sales calls are being made. You're trying to go from the conflict, say, of not enough money in the business or looking for funding for the business up to the point of some level of resolution. So there's going to be action taking place with you as the character in the role that you particularly are in. And then at the top, you're going to get to the point where you resolve something. You get a solution. And then you're going to fall back into a state of falling action when you're going to be tapering off what you were doing before when you were coming up the hill of rising action. And then you're going to get to the resolution, resolution. Now, when you get to the resolution or the resolution, you're now at a new or different level of the story, Meaning at the exposition, you were starting somewhere, then something happened, and then you were trying to resolve it. Then you got to the point where it started to resolve. Then it sinks back down into steady state, and then you're at a new level. This plot map is the same plot map that's used in stories. This is the same plot map that is used in business and in your life on a day-to-day basis. The key now is to find out in the exposition, basically, what role are you playing and what are the roles that people are playing around you. And then also to see what the conflicts are. Because if you look at your role, the environment, the setting, and then the conflict, take the appropriate actions moving forward, figure out where you're going to be to the point of crisis, when things are going to start to resolve, and then fall back down to the resolution, you have a handle on most every business situation and every life situation and every relationship situation that you can come into. Now, if you take this plot map and you look at it without words, and then you split it open, and then flip it over, and then make a long line on them, this starts to resemble the very thing that keeps you moving along every day, and that's your heartbeat. So actually, the story is either you're coming into a story, you're in the middle of a story, or you're coming out of a story at any given time. This is the crux of business. This is the crux of strategy. This is how life is made up. If we now look at the 20 master plots, when I ran across the 20 master plots, I thought I'd come into the secret of just about everything. Because the 20 master plots written by Ronald Tobias are a wonderful way to really understand the different stories that we are in at any given time. So the first story, very quickly, or the first master plot, is the one called Quest. You know, people who are always looking for the newest adventure, the newest far, far away land. And there's a quest, there's a certain role there, there's a setting, there's an environment, and there's a certain set of things that person is always going to do. Once you identify that someone's in the quest role, then you know what to do with them. The next is adventure. Adventure a lot of times has to do with people who are looking for physical adventure, meaning the guys that are doing, say, the X Games. They're in an adventure type story. Adventure versus quest is a little bit different. A quest is typically you're going on a trip or a journey because you're looking for a particular experience. An adventure is when you're putting your body in some type of harm's way, and it's typically dangerous. That's adventure. Pursuit. We all know pursuit. That's the car chase. That's when someone is avidly pursuing something, just for the sake of going fast, possibly, maybe for the thrill of it, but in pursuit of something. That's the third master plot. The fourth master plot is rescue. You probably know of people who are in a victim conversation or waiting for someone to come rescue them. Or you may be on the other role where you're the one who's always being called on to rescue. Again, this is number 4 in the master plots. Number 5 is escape. Some people are trying to escape corporate America. Some people are trying to escape relationships. But escape has barriers and obstacles. This is number 5 master plot. Number 6, which is a very common plot that we find working out all over the place. You have people who are wanting to get revenge. They're trying to plot and get even. Someone has done them some slight and they want to get back at them. That's revenge. The riddle. Someone's in a question. What should I do next? Where should I go next? Where can I get more information? A great many people are in this riddle plot because they're looking for more information, looking for answers. They may not be asking the right questions to get the answer that they want, but they are looking for information. That's the riddle. Number 8 is rivalry. That's when two people are pitted at the same goal. Let's say you're going for a job, you're going for a bid, you're going for a particular piece of business against your competition. You are in a rivalry plot. The underdog. This is always a David and Goliath type situation where someone is bigger, stronger, and faster, say a big, large corporate behemoth versus a small, agile startup. That's an underdog conversation. Underdog plot. Typically, a lot of times, well, you never know how it's going to go. The person who is bigger and stronger may actually win, but sometimes the conversation is that the smaller is more agile and fast and lean. That's what we're finding now playing out in the marketplace. Number 10, in temptation. We've seen temptation in the Bible with Adam and Eve, but temptation, this story is around us all the time. It's having the chocolate cake that you should not have because you're on a diet. It's going to the movies when you should be working. Temptation is a plot that we're always in. Metamorphosis. The metamorphosis from a story standpoint is when someone is a person and they become an animal. And you've heard people say, I became a beast, or I became so mad. That's metamorphosis. They turn into a so-called monster. This is a plot that people are in all the time. Transformation. Transformation typically has a connotation of being positive, meaning you're going from a caterpillar to a butterfly. You were in a situation where things weren't so good, but you got some lessons, and now you're at a different level of understanding on life. That's transformation. Maturation is typically growing up. That's when the younger is becoming the older. When a girl is becoming a woman, when a young man is becoming a man. That's maturation. And this speaks of sage wisdom. We all know of people who are a little bit older who are I am in the wisdom. I have experience. I've done things before you, so therefore I can come back and give you the lessons based on my actual experience in the field, in the marketplace. That's maturation. Love, number 14. This is the plot that has us become boyfriend and girlfriend, has us get married. This is the one that has us go on honeymoons, and the happily ever after plot is what love is. This one grips us from a very early age and takes us to our grave. But love is one of the major master plots. Number 15, forbidden love. Forbidden love is adultery, cheating, seeing another person. That is the stuff of a lot of the drama that's available to us on the planet. It's because Romeo and Juliet, it is Cleopatra. Forbidden love is one of the driving plots that surrounds us in our society. It keeps the tabloids moving. Number 15, forbidden love. Number 16, sacrifice. That's when you're giving up your time, your effort, your emotional stamina, your energy, your money for someone else. And in the time of war, even giving up of one's life. That is sacrifice. Anytime we're in a situation where we're giving of ourselves and not getting something in return, that is sacrifice. Number 17, that's self-discovery. That's saying that there's more inside of you than you knew was there, overcoming esteem problems, overcoming inner obstacles. That's discovery. Notice the cat looking at himself in the mirror but yet seeing a lion. Number 18, wretched excess. That is when you're so bent and so focused on getting something that you neglect those things that are important in your life. That's the story of the person who's addicted to drugs or alcoholism or workaholism or addicted to the business or sports. All these things are wretched excess. Keeping things in balance is the lesson for number 18. Number 19, ascension. Ascension has a connotation of some spiritual or emotional breakthrough where someone is in level 1 and they get through this tumultuous time, they get through the project, they make the grade, and then all of a sudden they are in a different place and they have a different level of peace. And then number 20, dissension. That's a fall from grace. That's when someone was riding high and then all of a sudden some scandal occurs and they descend either into depression or in some type of form of disgrace. This is number 20 and the last master plot. These plots are the stories that we're in at any given time, sometimes singularly and sometimes in combination. Once you know what these plots are, once you can see them in both yourself and others, you have a handle on how life is moving, how relationships are moving, how business is going to go. You will possess a certain level of predictability that you did not have before, and just by studying these master plots. Now obviously this goes deeper than just the overview that I just gave you, but this is the background that you'll need to understand the rest of the presentation. Now this is where it gets interesting. I was giving a seminar and I made an offhanded comment about the 4 stories that are at play at any time in all businesses. And one of the audience members, his name is Russell Wright, he's one of the owners of ThemeZoom. He sat up straight in his seat and these were his exact words. Did you hear what you just said? That is the key to everything that we do in marketing and in sales. A few months later, he had taken my statement about the 4 stories and had created a graphic that showed the intersection of those 4 stories and how they formed the USP or the unique selling proposition. Here's the graphic that he created. Now let me take a moment to explain this graphic to you. There are 4 stories in the marketplace. Each one of them either supports or informs the other stories. When you know the narrative for each of these segments, you can create profitable alignment. Since then, I used this premise and created an execution model for businesses that I work with. And the results, well, they speak for themselves. For example, one of the companies that my team and I worked with went from a napkin to a $30 million valuation in only 18 months. And I know some people say, well, wait, that's impossible, but really it's not. It's actually true when things are aligned. Another company saw a 500% increase with their telemarketing conversion after we applied our strategic methods to their phone rooms. And recently, we started working with a company that sends over 800,000 emails every month promoting a line of products that upsells to a $1,000 back end. The bottom line is that story leverage works, and the methodology and the system works. Many businesses have tried variations of what I've just told you about, but there's always a missing piece, a missing part that got in the way of the success that I knew was available for the business owners and executives if I could only find or create the right tool. The bottleneck I discovered it is actually the business owner or the executive themselves and the way they think about their business and the customers. His or her thinking style or story can actually get in the way of the proper execution and therefore the success of the business. Now here's the second secret. Your story and the story of your team is the 1% that controls the 99% of your success in your business. If the market doesn't understand or care about your story, you will fail or grossly underperform. In 2012, I stumbled upon the business GPS report, really by accident, and this was the missing piece that I needed. But once I saw the power of it, I knew that it was that missing piece of the puzzle. Then I organized all these pieces together into a replicatable process called the Business GPS report. This special report tells me your thinking style, not what you think, but how you think. And let me tell you why that's so important. This is not a personality test. The Business GPS report checks your communication, thinking process, and patterns. Everybody has a particular thinking style. It's unique for everyone, just like a fingerprint. Your own style is pretty much set at birth and does not change very much over the course of your lifetime. For some, that style is limiting. For others, it's empowering. It's true when they say that rich people actually think differently. But once you understand how you process information and receive incoming information, your world can open up for you. Once you know what alignment is and how to get there, almost like magic, your business can provide you maximum profit with the least amount of time, effort, and investment. It can free you from the struggle that many business owners and executives experience day in and day out. This is the 1% that controls the 99% that I was talking about. Once you have this information about yourself, you and your business will be unstoppable. Here's what you get as part of my business GPS system. First, you get your personal business GPS report. This is the very same report that is used with companies like IBM, American Express, Cirque du Soleil, and MTV. It calls on comparative data dating back 30 years and from over 1 million people within the database. This personal business GPS report tells you not only how you think when everything is fine, but also how you think when you are in a stressful situation. This is extremely powerful because it gives you the tools to understand how you can always be the most productive in your business. Once you get your results back, we do a comprehensive one-on-one debrief of your report. This isn't about your personality. This will cover about how you relate to your business, your markets, and the platforms that you use now. Having this information and this debrief at your fingertips is sure to have a profound effect on your business, but more importantly, your relationships and life. When I did this debrief myself, I changed the way that I do business. I changed my business model to one that is aligned with my thinking. I found the personal business GPS report and the business alignment debrief priceless for my own personal success. And I think you will too. Typically, this personal business GPS report and business debrief will cost about $800. But because I'm looking to work with business owners and executives that are serious about unearthing the hidden profits in their businesses, I'm making the business GPS report and the business alignment debrief available to attendees of this webinar for just $395. Let me tell you the next steps so that you understand what you'll get when you sign up for your business GPS report. you'll get the Personal Business GPS Report, which is the same report used by several Fortune 500 companies. This report will tell you how you actually think and best process both incoming and outgoing communications. I cannot stress enough how valuable having this information is in your business. And you'll get the one-on-one executive debrief where we will see just how your current thinking is supporting or derailing your ability to execute effectively within your current business model and position, and most importantly, with your team. As soon as you order, you'll immediately receive further instructions for both the business GPS report and for scheduling your executive debrief. So if your business growth seems stagnant, you're sick of just getting by, or you're ready to start creating maximum profits quickly, order your business GPS report right now. So if you're really serious about creating maximum profits in minimum time, then go ahead and order the business GPS report right now. I look forward to working with you, and more importantly, I look forward to seeing how you see and act on the new opportunities in your business when you have the business GPS report in your hands.